Hi, I'm going to make another video and demo for you on how to make the traditional version of Waraji, which are Japanese rice straw sandals. They've been used since ancient times as a form of footwear using plant materials in Japan, and they're used either barefoot or in conjunction with tabi or the split toe socks or shoes. And I think this is kind of a neat technique to be able to make some primitive footwear on the go, provided you know how to at least make some cordage from scratch. I'm sure cattail would work, basswood would work, dogbane would work, nettles would work, you know, lots of different plants that one would make cordage out of. One could also possibly make these sandals as well. So here's a couple of examples. Here's a really wide pair that I've made. These are traditional style, and this is just made out of manila rope from the hardware store. As I'm practicing and researching this technique, I'm going ahead and just biting the bullet and buying the raw materials I need in order to work on the weaving and sizing. And this is made of manila rope. These are made of manila rope, and these are pretty wide, but they work. Then there is another style that you can make, and these are more like zori. And zori are basically sandals, and these look like sandals. And this is made out of sisal cordage that I again purchased from the hardware store to practice the technique. And I've just wrapped the straps of the sandal here just with some old socks that I ripped up, just to add some comfort when these are worn. But these are more like what we know as sandals or zori, and that can be created using this technique. And then here's another style that I made for my partner using kind of just regular fabric that's got a leopard print on it. And again, you're just lacing the cordage or the fabric through the loops in the platform or the sole of your shoe. And again, these are for everyday use around the house, or even on the street. I would probably take a combination of tire shavings and barge cement and create a paste or a peanut butter like concoction, and smear it on the bottom to create a rubberized sole. And you can let that dry a little bit and then smear some more on, and that'll build up, and you'll actually have a rubberized sole that'll actually hold up and keep you from slipping, because these by themselves on slick surfaces like linoleum and bathroom tile are very, very slick, so you're liable to. So just a caveat, hopefully you don't, if you choose to try and make a pair and you wear them around the house, that you might not, you don't end up hurting yourself by slipping. So first things you're going to need, all you're really going to need, and I have yet to make a pair from actual natural materials. I'm going to be working on as my next project yet, but I've got 50 feet of a 1/4 inch in diameter manila rope just from the local hardware store, and one roll works for my size. I'm a size 10.5. One roll works to make one waraji. So I need 2 rolls of 50 feet of a 1/4 inch rope to make 2 pairs. That's for my size, just so that you know. And what I've been experimenting with is essentially you're going to need 2 sections to start off with. You're going to need the loom part, and right now I'm just using my arm width as a measure. I know it's 5 feet 7 inches. Rounding it up, it's going to be about 6 feet. So I'm going to need at least 2 lengths to start my my loom for weaving. So that's the first section. I take a piece of duct tape and I wrap it around my length here, and I go ahead and just cut in the middle. And the duct tape is to keep the cordage from unraveling on you, the twining from unraveling. And you could, if you're going completely primitive, you could have some thinner cordage that you would just whip around and then pull it through, and that would keep your cordage from unraveling on you. So that's one length. That's going to be our loom. That's two. 1, 2 of my arm span, and then the rest we're going to use as the weavers. So maybe 6.5 arm lengths, 5.5 arm lengths for my size. I can kind of get away with, but I'm just going to feel safe and just use one. So let's begin and make a pair of Waraji.